Hi, this is Simon Leung from simonleung.com. Welcome back to my show about absolutely nothing. Happy Monday to each and every single one of you who is watching in my time zone, and maybe Sunday evening for those of you who are a little bit halfway around the world. But regardless, we're hoping that you're enjoying the rest of your weekend or maybe the first day of the week. We hope that all is going well for you. If this is your first time here, a huge welcome. Please consider to subscribe, like, and follow with the bell notification turned on if you're interested in joining us for future live sessions as they're going on so that you can interact and everything along those lines. One of my best and favorite moments of all these different live streams is when I get to interact with you. So leave a comment. Let me know that you are here. And of course, whenever I can, we will always interact back. Now, again, if you're joining us for the very first time, leave a comment wherever you might be, okay? Whether you're on Twitter, whether you're on Twitch, whether you're on YouTube, or any one of my Facebook platforms. It could be my page, one of my groups, one of my profiles. It doesn't really matter. Let me know where you're watching me from, your country, your city, as well as the time. It is about 12:30 in the afternoon right now where I am, and I believe for those of you who might be in the US, it might still be Sunday evening. Okay, so hello from the future. This is what you can expect to see in about 12-13 hours from now. I'm kidding, of course, but today what we want to talk about is something a little bit unique, a little bit following what we talked about yesterday. If you didn't join us live, or if you haven't had the chance to watch us on the replay, what we talked about yesterday is the importance of leadership. And of course, with everything that's been happening over the past 24 to 48 hours when it comes to the US, right? The whole election thing is still going on. A lot of people say it's over. A lot of people already celebrating, but at the same time, a lot of people also are saying that it's not over and that is just the beginning. And so all of that we talked about yesterday in terms of how we should be handling all these situations in the best possible mature manner, professional manner that demonstrates what kind of leaders we are, the kind of maturity that we have, and of course, how we can have other people look up to us as role models by the way that we act, by what we say, what we do, and everything along those lines. So if you didn't have the opportunity to watch that, I suggest and encourage that you catch the replay, simply because I believe we did have a lot of value that was being shared. Now, along the same lines of what we talked about yesterday, I also want to combine that with some of the other things that we talked about over the last several days as well in a variety of different live stream topics. We talked about things like being responsible. We talked about things about being professional, taking advantage of opportunities, seizing the right opportunities at the right place and at the right time. And I honestly believe that with everything that is still going on right now, it is a huge opportunity for any one of us who have that goal of being successful. We want to be in business. We have higher ambitions in our careers. Let's just say, for example, right now, we need to learn how to observe what is going on around us. We need to see what is happening. We have to really see in detail how other people are behaving, but take a step back, remove ourselves from the commotion, remove ourselves from the emotion, and remove ourselves from all the different situations and even the conversations that might be happening in those social media feeds, in the chats, what other people are actually talking about, simply because we want to take those as lessons on what to do, what not to do, that will get us to be in a much higher perceived level as leaders, as success coaches, as people that others can look up to. Okay, so We're going to be talking about how we can take responsibility, how we can take control, as well as how we can take massive action. Okay, so of course, this is all in due basically with a lot of the current events that might be happening right now, wherever you might be seeing this message, hopefully either on YouTube or on Facebook or on Twitch or on Twitter or Periscope. Please read the description that we actually do not intend this to be a political discussion. It isn't. We will, of course, use the examples of what is going on right now in real time. Current events is a big part of our history, right? But at the same time, I want this to be a learning lesson for all of us. For me personally, you're not going to hear me talk about which side I am on or which side I am against. I am not going to be here judging one way or another, talking about one way or another of the elections on what is going on. But I do want to pull some real examples of real behaviors from real people. And hopefully we can, as a community, right? We talked about community yesterday. We as a community can essentially get more out of everything that is happening right now. Okay, so very cool. Before we get started, as always, we want to say hi to those of you who have been commenting and are joining us. We do have a little bit over a dozen people who are joining us from across different platforms. But of course, what I notice is that usually most people are either a little bit shy, they want to be invisible, they're not so comfortable interacting. Maybe some of you are watching me for the very first time, do not know who I am, and so you don't want to leave any comments or introduce yourself. That's okay. We can do that in due time. But of course, it's going to be very beneficial to you if you do, because of the potential relationship that we can build. Case in point, a friend that I recently met is a gentleman by the name of Nicholas, because he only started commenting on my live streams just a few days ago. But what I learned is that Nicholas has actually been following me for over the past 10 plus years. He lives in Australia, but he has been invisible the entire time until recently that he decided that he was going to say hi. And we had a nice conversation yesterday. And I believe there's going to be a lot of cool things that we will continue to do as we expand our relationship. We have over 10 years made to catch up on. So I'm sure it will take just a little bit of time for us to both figure out how we can mutually help each other, because that's what our community is all about, right? But once you get to know me, once you get to know what I'm about, as well as the superstars that we have in our humble community, I'm sure you will want to introduce yourself as well very soon, just like what Nicholas did. And of course, we want to build our own small little mastermind of superstars to create the next set of success stories. So don't be shy, okay? Don't be shy and don't be reserved. Feel free to say hi at any given time, interact, ask questions, answer questions, because that's what this community is all about. And Nicholas is saying, hey, Simon, good day, mate. Good day to you as well, all the way from Queensland in Australia. The Funnel Stack, welcome back, Senor, because he's saying, yo, everyone. And right now, we have a very limited people who are active at the moment, but I'm sure as time goes on, hopefully we'll have many of you who continue to say hi to us so that we can make this more of a conversation, just like what we normally do. Okay, so very cool. That's all we're going to address for the time being. I think for many of us, it's probably lunchtime for those of us who are in Southeast Asia or in Australia. I actually just came back as well, enjoyed my morning exercise, walking around the complex and using the machines with my family. And so I just came back, and now I just locked myself in the room later on before I shower and everything like that, because after I shower, I'm probably not going to want to be in front of the camera anymore. Just spend the rest of the day just hard at work in front of the computer without talking to anybody, because as a natural introvert, that's usually how I am the most productive. Okay, so if this is the first time that you are joining us, of course, I recommend and encourage you to follow me right here on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Simon Liang. Subscribe, hit that bell notification so that you don't miss anything the next time that we go live or with any other video. And of course, right here, fb.me/the Simon Liang. Or of course, you can always go to facebook.com/the Simon Liang. You can also like that page and also hit that notification so that we can announce to you anytime that we go live. All right, transitioning back to our topic of the day. Of course, if we are watching this, whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching this on the replay, we probably are a little bit business minded. Maybe you already have a business. Maybe you intend to have a business. Maybe you're an aspiring entrepreneur and you really do want to take advantage of all the resources that we have and take this time as much as possible to learn everything that you can about the business, about the skills, so that you can eventually change your life in one way or another, right? And of course, in business, we know this. In one way or another, we might actually see this as competition. Because if you want to be an internet marketer, let's face it, you're not going to be the only internet marketer in the world. If you want to sell something, a product, a service, whether it's your own or somebody else's as an affiliate marketer, let's face it, you're not going to be the only person who is selling or promoting that product or service either, right? So yes, whether we think about this or not, and whether we like it or not, we are in competition, just like the elections, right? Just like any other kind of sporting events, just like anything else that we might be doing, even if let's say we're in Malaysia right now. And so what's really popular in Malaysia is food, right? And if we go to a food court, sometimes we have in Malaysia what we call hawker centers or mamak shops or, kopitiams or whatever. And in all those different food centers, food courts, I'm sure you can agree, right? You're not going to be the only food stall in that particular area, which means that you have competition. But does that mean that you're not going to do it just because there is competition? No, of course not, right? You're still going to do it. When there is competition, it's always a good thing. It means that there is money to be made. It means that there is opportunity for you. So that's why I would highly encourage that if you just simply see that other people are doing something, don't let that be your reason to not do it, right? Because probably if you get so lucky to be able to find something where there is no competition, well, maybe there is a reason why there isn't any competition. Right? Maybe there's no opportunity. Maybe there's no potential. Maybe a lot of people have already done that, have already been there. They've been there. They failed, right? There's no money to be made. And those people already took that litmus test for you, right? So in that case, we learn from mistakes, yes, but we don't need to learn from our own mistakes. We learn from other people's mistakes, which is a good thing. So as entrepreneurs, now is actually a very good time, especially here in 2020, when so many people are now looking for new opportunities, when so many people are having the epiphany, the realization that they want to go online, that they want to start a business, that they want to actually do something with their lives different from what they've been doing all this while, because now they see the opportunity on the internet. They see the potential of doing things online, whereas they didn't before, simply because they didn't need to. The society, the world didn't push them towards that part of the business, right? And so they never really thought about going online and leveraging on the internet. But now that we are here, now that we're finally almost the entire way through, there is less than 2 months left in the year. 2020 has given many of us quite a beating, hasn't it? But here's the thing. For many of us who have been living through 2020, we now see the realization of the potential of the internet. And that's why when we say there is competition, yes, there is. because there are many people who have been doing it already for the past 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and more. Personally, I have been making money online ever since 1997, but that doesn't mean that I'm not doing it anymore, simply because now, over 20 plus years later, obviously more people are doing it. Yes, more people are competing against me for the products that I'm promoting, the services that I'm selling. But at the end of the night, I see competition as good. So going back to our topic, the main topic, as you can see in the title, right? We cannot just walk away simply because there is competition. When there is competition, we welcome competition. But of course, we're also going to be competitive, which means that we want to win, okay? We want to be winners. And how are you going to be a winner? Well, we cannot be a winner by simply sitting in the back. We can't be a winner by simply being the backup. We need to come out. We need to stand in front, and we need to display not only to us, but to the world exactly what it is that we need to do. So earlier, when I said, yes, I understand that some of you may be meeting me for the very first time, or if you're like Nicholas, whom we introduced to you earlier, he was quiet for the past 10 plus years while he was following me, watching all my videos and reading my blog posts and, reading my emails and everything along the lines. And I had no idea. In fact, I had my very first call, talked to him for the very first time only yesterday, after our session, after my live stream. That's how long it took for Nicholas to actually introduce himself, so to speak, to me. But at the same time, right, I feel like he's been my friend for a very long time because he's actually been following me for over a decade. That's the point, right? When we are here and we're thinking, what is in it for us to be able to grow, to be able to step out in front, right? To not hide behind the computer for years and years and years. The sooner that you can force yourself to stand out, right? Stand out and say, I'm here, right? Talk to me, teach me, coach me, mentor me. As soon as you open up yourself to be coachable, to learn, to be able to mutually be able to benefit and have a win-win situation with anybody who might want to, let's say, do business with you, who might want to coach you along the way, the sooner you will be able to expedite that success story. So yes, for Mr. Nicholas, right? We talked for the first time yesterday. And in our conversation, we're basically saying, so how can we help each other? What's the best way for me to get involved in what you do? What's the best way for you to get involved, in what I do? And what's the best way for us to make that impact and help as many people as possible? We could have had this conversation over 10 years ago, couldn't we? If we had known each other and interacted back then. So that's why I say, even if you're watching us for the first time right now, don't be shy. Comment, say hi, because you say hi today, tomorrow we say hi again, and within the next couple of days or the next couple of weeks or within the next couple of months, we will already be on the quick course, the crash course, the fast path to expedite our working professional relationship. Okay, so let's not waste 10 years like what Nicholas and I have already done. Let's not waste even a year. Let's not waste any more time than necessary. Let's immediately start our path towards winning. Okay, so very cool. After that, we got a couple more people saying hi. Jeanette from Hong Kong is saying good morning. Okay, so it's not morning anymore. It is almost 1 p.m. 食咗晏飯未啊? I think it's almost time for us. So 一陣間影啲相俾你睇， because I know you want to see what we're eating. Okay. And then we have, I believe, a brand new friend. I don't remember ever seeing Hot Flip Heidi, this particular YouTube channel name, but if this is the first time that you're interacting, thank you very much, Heidi, for actually coming on and saying hi. We appreciate you with the interaction. And of course, this is exactly what we mean, right? Even if it's the first time that you're interacting, or maybe it's not, or maybe it's not even the first time that you're watching, when you're saying hi for the very first time, right? It's still my first time to interact with you. And so with all of that, I've made a new friend. You've also made a new friend. We hope that this professional / personal relationship will go a long way towards a mutual beneficial community. Okay, so thank you very much, Heidi, for saying hi. And she's saying, but more people are also buying online more than ever before. I absolutely agree, especially now. I don't know where you're from, Heidi. Let me know in the comments where you are from or where you're living right now. I'm in Malaysia, and guess what? We just approached our second official lockdown. We call it CMCO here, Conditional Movement Control Order. And so during this time, when most of the people are thinking, oh my gosh, it's lockdown, right? People are losing jobs. People are going to say my businesses are impacted and everything else. What am I going to do? Well, yes, for those of you with a certain kind of mindset, right? With a certain type of attitude, I need to go out there and find a job, or maybe, okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. If that's what you were raised to do and that's how you want to make your living, then unfortunately, when the entire country goes into lockdown, like what's happening right here in Malaysia, well, unfortunately, it's going to affect you, right? But over the last several months, many people, they decided that they weren't going to make excuses. They see this, right, the lockdown, as opportunity. They started going online. They started doing meetings. If they had restaurants, if they had cafes, if they had previous hawker centers or mama shops or whatever, they also went online now and said that they transitioned their normal restaurants, sit-in, dine-in type of environment into a delivery service. And guess what? For all the people who went online, whether it's the restaurants that I just talked about, whether it's grocery stores, whether it's retail stores, and people who are sending clothes and people who are sending toys and other things that normally people would need to go to the malls or the shops to buy, but now they will deliver to you. They as well also saw a huge increase in business, right? Why is it, if you're thinking about Heidi, right? Why is it that more people are buying online, especially now more than before, right? It's because for the places, sometimes the entire nation, like in Malaysia, when the entire country is locked down, we can't go anywhere without a license or a permit, right? You get stopped by the cops. You will get fines. You will get reprimanded, right? And some people, during the last lockdown, they actually got locked up for not following the orders, right? We can't go anywhere. So of course, if we need to buy food, if we need to buy groceries, if we need to buy other necessities, shampoo, soap, right? Or whatever else, we have to buy online. That's why buying online, more people are going online shopping more than before. But not only that, there is a good amount of population right now because of the pandemic, right? Even if the country is open, even if they're legally open to legally able to go outside, they don't want to go outside. They don't want to leave their house. They see putting on masks, for example, as a burden, maybe, right? Or maybe they see that going out is not safe for them or their family. They want to make sure that they remain healthy. They want to just stay home. Like me, as an introvert, they see that as an opportunity to not have to go out. So more and more people, right, are staying at home. And as a result, more and more people are going online, right? So that's basically the point that we want to make. There are gonna be competition, whatever it is that you want to be selling, whatever it is that you are doing for your business, promoting as a product, as a service. But at the end of the day, competition is good. If other people are also doing it, it means that there's money to be made. And as a result, there will be more buyers. That's why I said, in some of my recent live streams, don't look at opportunities as problems, because what they are obstacles, obstacles that you can overcome if you choose to. The many people who are seeing the lockdown, the pandemic as problems to them, right? They're outside, they have riots, they're protesting, they're complaining and whining and playing victim because they have no other alternative, or they think that they don't have any alternative. They do. They just chose to play the victim. They just chose to block out the other opportunities. They just chose to whine and complain. Or maybe, granted, they were not presented with the right opportunity. But I would say, if you take responsibility, if you take control, and if you take massive action, the topic that we are talking about today, right? Then at the very least, go to google.com. How can I make the best out of the pandemic? How can I make a living when my city or my country is locked down? How can I make more money online from home? How can I survive 2020? All of these things, all these searches will give you results that I believe could be enough for you to go after. So I don't believe for a second that anybody is on a dead end. I don't believe for a moment that there is nothing that anybody can do, right? People choose to have nothing to do. People choose to think that because they're out of the job, because they're out of the business, they choose to believe that because the city is locked down, that they don't have any other choice. When in reality, there are plenty of choices for all of us to choose from. Okay, so yes, that is why more and more people are buying things online. More and more people are shopping online. So if we actually just open up our eyes to the opportunity, to the potential, we will realize that this is the best time ever for all of us to go digital. It is the age of the internet. If you're not online and you don't become a problem solver, then obviously you are not thinking like a leader. You're not taking responsibility, you're not taking control, and you're not taking massive action. And in this case, you will never win. Okay, so that's why we all want to make sure that with these live streams, if you're following me, if you're subscribed to me, right, we want to give you all these kinds of lessons that will hopefully help you to become better and help you to become a winner. Okay, we have 10 who is joining us from somewhere on Facebook, either a private group or maybe one of my pages or one of my profiles. He says, hi, thank you very much, 10, for joining us. Hello back to you. Okay, quick back to Hot Flip Heidi. She is saying, hi, new here from California. Very cool. What part of California? I also grew up in California. At the age of 5, I moved to San Francisco, California. And shortly after, went to Daly City, moved to Daly City, California. And then also after a while, university, went to San Jose State University, and then I worked at Google at Mountain View, California, in the Silicon Valley for about 4.5, 5 years. And so for 25 years, a little bit more than that, I was also in California. Definitely a great place to be. Miss the weather, miss the food, miss the people, miss everything about it. So after all this thing is behind us, the whole pandemic thing and everything like that, hopefully a trip back will be in the cards. So very cool. Thank you for joining us all the way from Cali. Okay, Tennis saying hi from Bangkok. Yet another place that I miss. It has been over a year since my family and I last visited Thailand. We would always, every single year, almost without fail, multiple trips to Bangkok, as well as nearby areas. The last time we were there, we also went to Khao Yai, which was so amazing. It's about 2 or 3 hour drive, maybe a little bit more. I could be mistaken. I usually just sleep in the car, but definitely if from Bangkok we drive or we get a car and then we ride have a ride all the way to Kalei, and it's always one of the places we've been 2-3 times already. One of the places that you will never ever get sick of. So thank you very much for joining us from Bangkok. Jessica is joining us once again. Very cool. It's the afternoon for you now. It's great that you are able to join us. I believe you missed us yesterday and a few other sessions as well. She's saying, "Hey Simon, great to see you again." Nicholas is saying, "It's great to see all these new friends coming in. Stay a while, chat, and have some fun. We are a great group of people out to help you where we can, but you have to be active." Yes, absolutely, Nicholas. As I mentioned, we had a quick chat yesterday over Messenger, and it was a voice call, and it was after over 10 years, right? We finally had a voice conversation for the very first time, and just right out of the bat, I can tell that Nicholas is he's a giver. Okay, he is definitely somebody that I would see as a leader, not only because of his attitude, but also because he's been actually following me for over 10 years, which means that he's been doing internet marketing even longer than that, right? And so he's got the experience, he's got the knowledge in one of the communities that we are both a part of. Interestingly enough, he's also proactively become a leader in that space because he decided to create tutorial videos. And even though he says that he's an introvert, and you can see in his icon, he doesn't even show his face, right? A lot of times, for most of us who are introverts, we don't want to show our faces. We don't want to use our voices. In fact, we want to be 100% anonymous, right? And even though Nicholas isn't showing us how he looks like, he's still using his voice in his videos, and he is doing what he can to help others as well. So very quickly, I've identified Nicholas as one of the top community leaders within my own mastermind, and we're going to do some really cool things as well. So for those of you who are also interested in one or the other, right, learning, if you want to learn from people like Nicholas and myself, or if you want to be an aspiring leader, you want to also be a giver. We talked about opportunities as a leader yesterday, right? We talked about how you can seize these opportunities. We talked about how it's important for you to not think of these different types of situations as what's in it for me, but rather what can I do to help, right? Once you adapt this mentality, what Nicholas has already adapted, something that I also was able to adapt in the entire Groove community, right? This was something that took me to new heights, provided me with even more opportunities than ever before. And I sincerely believe that when you are authentic, not only in gratitude and saying thanks to your mentors, but also have the mentality and the spirit of giving back, that is when your life will completely change. Okay, so take any opportunity that you can to be a part of the community, but not only that, become a leader. And that is also what we're talking about here. So Hot Flip Heidi is saying adapt or die. Yeah, exactly, right? And nothing can be more true, especially in 2020, right? For all of us who are experiencing that. And people, ever since the beginning, it's very cliche, right? They say, we're all in this together. And unfortunately, as much as we would like to believe that we're all in this together, what we realize very quickly, especially for those who are just in it for themselves, they're not doing this for us, right? They're taking advantage of the pandemic as an opportunity for them to somehow make more money, to somehow become a predator, due to the mass majority being more quote unquote desperate, right? They want to take this opportunity and try and sell more and more things where they themselves obviously are not qualified to be in that space. And so what I see is those who are honest, those who are adapting, and those who are actually the right fit to be a winner in this pandemic, in this situation, in these scenarios for the long run, those are the givers. Those are the ones who adapted. And even though it meant that they won't be able to make money immediately, right? Maybe it'll take them longer, but in the meanwhile, they can help as many people as they can, right? What they're doing is they are adapting to the times. Just like me, prior to the pandemic, I was selling my online courses. I have my agencies. I have my services. I have my live seminars as well. As soon as we got locked down and I can't do any of those anymore, I didn't simply convert to selling my courses online as opposed to going offline, or my services online as opposed to going offline. No, everything that I previously offered, I basically transitioned them into free products, free courses, free services, free mentorship, free consultation, free everything, simply because I was adapting to the times. Now, if I had been greedy, if I had been selfish, if I had been just in it for me, just like a huge majority, unfortunately, of the people that I know in the business, they will go unnamed at this point in time. But you will hear me talk about fake gurus. You will hear me talk about people I once considered my friends who are now no longer my friends because they showed me their true colors when they realized that certain opportunities, they felt that there was nothing in it for them. And they decided to ignore the friendship, the relationship, threw that all away just because of their selfishness, their greediness, or whatever else. We know who is adapting, and we know who is in it for themselves. So yes, adapt or die. If you don't adapt, if you don't change, if you decide that you want to continue doing what you have previously been doing and you still want to capitalize on it, and you still want to make as much as you can from desperate people who need it, and you don't help them in their times of need, in their times of sorrow, right? Eventually, they will see that those business models, their attitude and their mindset, their entire attitude and mental capabilities of their business and the way that they think, right? It simply isn't a good fit for longevity. So for lack of better terms, right, the business itself will definitely die or die out. Thank you for sharing that, Heidi. I see your points as well. Nicholas is saying, hey, Jessica and Jeanette, great to see you both here. Thank you for interacting. And then Jessica is saying, hey, Nicholas. And Janice, typo, it is Jeanette. Yes, lots of typos, Jessica, but that's okay. We're thinking fast and we're typing fast. Jessica is also saying, yes, there are plenty of choices, potential, and opportunities online if you know where to look. And of course, if you are open enough to accept them into your life. Jessica is also saying, this is the age of the digital and information. Yep. Oh, cool. Hot Flip Heidi is saying from San Diego. San Diego is a hot place. We always go there. When I was living in the US, several times a year, simply because of the beaches, because of the weather. It's so awesome. Whoever you are, Facebook user, you are messaging me from within my private group. So whether it's Janice or somebody else, we always have some of you who are messaging us from inside of our private group, our private mastermind. So if you want to be seen, not just as Facebook user, but with your name, what I would recommend that you do is you should go to fb.me/the Simon Leung. And that is where you will actually see my Facebook page. Interact there, because when it's a public page, I will then be able to see your name. And of course, if any one of you, Jessica or Nicholas, who's also part of my mastermind group, if you happen to see whoever might be sending this message inside of the group, please let them know that they should actually go to my Facebook page or my YouTube channel to interact. That way we will see their name and we will be able to engage. For the rest of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, when I'm talking about my mastermind, I noticed that many of us are joining us for the very first time. You are welcome to join me on my mastermind group at simonleung.com/mastermind. Again, that's simonleung.com/mastermind. And when you do, This is the place that we're talking about growing leaders, developing the leaders of tomorrow, and helping you to succeed, become a winner. Because when you are a part of my community or any community, we reward you with much more opportunity, just in the exact same way that I, as well as several other top contributors of the Groove community, have been rewarded just for being top contributors as well. So becoming a leader, right? It definitely is a mindset thing. It's not about having time. It's not about sacrificing one thing or another. It's not about, not making time or having more things to do or whatever else. It all has to do with you and your willingness to be a leader, your willingness to help other people, contribute, and be a part of that community. And when you do, as I mentioned, the opportunity comes to you. What do I mean by Groove? Well, a few times already I've mentioned about the Groove community. If you're not a part of that, I recommend that you join the Groove community. You will get a lifetime free account and membership as well, simply by going to myinternetbuilder.com. Again, that's myinternetbuilder.com. So for those of you who are joining us for the very first time, go to myinternetbuilder.com and learn how you can be a part of the free Groove community, where you, of course, will get free access to the community, free training, free support, free access to a lot of VIP gurus and members, and free software products, free tools, and free so many things, okay? All these things I don't have time to get into. The moment that you go to myinternetbuilder.com, you will learn all that you need to know about that. I highly recommend that you get access to your free lifetime membership right now, so that you don't miss out by the time that free is no longer available. Okay, so thank you very much for that. Heidi is saying nice. The funnel stack is saying, Simon, I always wondered how you ended up in Penang. I haven't been there since early 90s, so I'm sure it hasn't changed much. Actually, Penang has changed a lot, even for the past several years since I've been here. The city continues to expand. It continues to be developed. As I probably mention this every single time, construction is happening right outside of my house, because they're building a brand new condo, but it's not just in this area, right down the street. They're building yet another condo, and yet another down the street. They're building some, landed houses and bungalows and everything else. This is a city that continues to grow, continues to get developed. If it's been since the early 90s, since you've been here, I definitely believe that a lot has been changed. Let me know where you're from, the funnel stack, and maybe after all this thing is over, the pandemic is behind us, and all the airplanes can fly once again, you and I can finally meet up somewhere in the world. But if you said that, you haven't been here since the 90s, it's been quite a while. I think a visit is definitely overdue. Definitely things have been a lot more expensive even in the last several years, but it doesn't really matter, because the food is still very good, the weather is still very nice, and the environment is still spectacular. The next time you come and visit, let's all hang out. Okay, Jessica is also saying, thanks for having my back, Nicholas, and messaging me that Simon is live. After 21 minutes, I missed the notification, but received your message. Thank you, Nicholas, for sharing the word. And this is definitely what we always recommend, right? Whether it's private message, whether it's to your own groups, fellow members on your own profiles, or whatever else, whomever you think would benefit from these sessions, definitely share the love, man. Okay, let people know, because the more the merrier. The more people that we have in this community, the more people that we can help, and the better we all become. Jessica is saying, yes, it's great. Nicholas is Simon's raving fan and was invisible following Simon for the past 10 years. I don't know if raving fan is appropriate or suitable as a description, but I'm definitely excited to hear that Nicholas has definitely been within my inner circle without me knowing for the past 10 years. And it's great to know that you've absorbed my content and that it's helped you. One of these days, maybe I can trouble you when you're comfortable and everything like that for a video testimonial. But no hurry, no rush. Let's wait until we get some additional better results together. Jessica is also saying, congratulations, Nicholas. I am so glad I told Simon about you. I recognize you as a leader and asset as well. You, Jessica, definitely, I see you potentially as a leader as well if you are willing to be one. So we can have that conversation another time. Jessica is also saying, we're in this together, adapt to the times and avoid fake gurus. There are a lot of them online. Simon is the real deal. We'll definitely have to talk more about fake gurus another time, another place, and all the different people who are, around and things like that, who have been around for a number of years. We definitely know and can recognize, smell these fake gurus 1,000 miles away. But unfortunately, for those of us who are still new, maybe have not been around the block and don't know, the real deal versus somebody who is pretending to be somebody who is not, it's very easy for them to quickly get conned, get distracted and get convinced into the wrong side of the field, so to speak. And as Hot Flip Heidi exclaims, calling them, a-holes or whatever, you can call them what you want, but definitely there are some people who are not really, let's just say, high integrity. They don't really have that much dignity in what they do. And as a result, a lot of people around them also suffer. But for us, we're different, right? Because I've been doing this for over 20 years and I'm not trying to sell you anything. I don't have anything to promote to you. Everything is free, okay? So if it's not for you, no worries, right? No hard feelings. Turn around, walk the other way. It's cool. Maybe in due time, we can be friends again or whatever else. But as you watch all these different live streams, and I've demonstrated this a few times, I also get trolls. I also get haters. I also get people who may not be listening to me, or maybe in some cases not understanding what I'm saying. And immediately, just because I'm going live, right, they think that I'm trying to scam people. They think I'm trying to sell them something, and they will say different things that are very inappropriate. They will swear, they will say bad words, they will insult me and what I do. But unlike many of the other people who will try to hide it, right? I just simply say, hey, check this out. This is what this person is saying against me, and this is my response to it, right? I have nothing to hide. So if you want to say something bad about me, don't mind me if I share it with the world, right? That's the only thing as well. And Jessica is also saying it's been life-changing being part of Simon's private mastermind and Groove community, more so in the Groove community because it's a lot more active at this moment. But as I've always said, over the past several sessions, it is my intention to make sure that our mastermind is going to be more active. We're going to get more leaders. We want more of you to shine, more of you to upgrade yourselves, more of you to step out of your comfort zone, become a leader, contribute, share. I want you to be under my wing, and I want to help you help as many other people as possible. And of course, all the rewards will all come back to us tenfold, 100-fold, 1,000-fold. The only thing that you need is the proper mindset to be in the right place, the right time, to accept the invitations, seize the opportunities to become a leader. And once you do, you will be rewarded. Jessica says, yes, please join us in Groove community and Simon's mastermind. Both are free. Yes, they are. And so for those of you who are here, definitely more than welcome to do so. The funnel stack is saying, sounds like a plan. I'm in the US, maybe at David's in Thailand, if it's a little closer for you. Yep, Thailand is just right across the border. In fact, right here in Penang, we are in driving distance, just a few hours from the border of Thailand. In fact, a lot of my in-law relatives, they drive to Thailand all the time, and sometimes we get invitations, sometimes we don't, but we've always planned to maybe take one of these road trips to another country, especially to Thailand, since it's just so close nearby one of these days. But obviously we can't do it anymore, not until next year, until the borders open. But as soon as that happens, we definitely have big plans for it. And for those of you who don't know, David is David Kavanaugh from Australia, but now he lives in Pattaya in Thailand. And we've been talking about this for the past several weeks. We are planning David's next event, which is also going to be, of course, in Thailand. I've had the pleasure, the opportunity to attend several of them in the past. He's always done them spectacularly, whether they're a week long or 6 days long or 12 days long or whatever else. They're usually a lot of fun. And of course, for marketers, a lot to be learned. So whenever that happens, stay tuned for the latest updates. You will learn more about that in one or the other of our communities. We'll definitely announce them as soon as they are fixed. Fun. Ivy Law is saying, keep missing your lives, always by accident. Welcome back, Ivy, another one of our Groove community members. If you want to participate in our live sessions, what I recommend that you do, as much as possible, we want to make sure that you are notified. Okay, so right here you will see my FB page, my Facebook page, fb.me/the Simon Leung. If you haven't already, like it, follow it, click on the notification to be notified every time that I go live, so that you will be able to join us and you will be able to get that notification every time that I go live, and just for safe measures. In addition, what I also recommend is you go to my YouTube channel right here, youtube.com/Simon Leung. Also subscribe, also click on the bell notification, and that will also notify you, in theory, every time that we go live. Okay, so hopefully these accidents don't happen anymore, and we will be able to see you every time that we go live, and you can interact with us, because I'm sure our fellow Groovesters and our fellow community members would enjoy communicating with you and interacting with you during these sessions as well. Jessica is saying, hey, the funnel stack, great to see you here again. Thanks for adding me and your messages. I will read them after this and reply. We're all very busy, right? So I'm sure many of you also sent me messages, and you'll notice I don't always reply right away. And that's because, of course, we all have different things going on, but it's the thought that counts, right? So don't give up. If I don't respond, keep commenting and keep responding and keep replying and keep sending me messages, because sooner or later you will get a response. Jessica saying, thank you. I'm willing to be a leader. That is very good news. Thank you for sharing that with us. Jessica is saying, avoid chasing the shiny object syndrome. We've talked about the shiny object syndrome several times over the last couple of weeks. It is a very real thing, and it's a very dangerous thing, and it's something that's going to keep you from achieving your goals, keep you from being a leader, keep you from winning your competition. So make sure that you avoid it like the plague, avoid it like the flu, avoid it like the coronavirus, right? Because it is something that is going to block you from your goals and where you want to be. Jessica is also saying, you shall know them by their fruits. Hot Flip Heidi is saying, black cats. I think you might be referring to the people who are the fake gurus and the scammers or whatever else. Yeah, I'm sure there are plenty of names that you can call them. But typically, right, if we say black cat, we might actually use that to explain their activities, right? Black cat activities, meaning that things that are not so kosher, right? Not something that everyone agrees with, not something that is high in integrity, not something that is something that I would recommend that we want to do. Usually something of a backdoor type of strategy, like a loophole into things, and things that usually do not garner much respect or longevity. So whether, black hat people or black hat strategies or black hat business methods, things that we always want to stay away from. So thank you, Heidi, for your input on that. Jessica is saying, I'm already under your wings. My own wings are growing stronger each day so that I will be able to fly. And that is the goal, right? For any one of you who might be watching right now, you're interested in being a part of our community. You're interested in being a bigger part in what we do, eventually becoming a leader, helping other people in the same way that you want to be helped, right? This is what the community is all about. This is what we're talking about when we're talking about, under your wings and getting stronger. Eventually, we want you to be able to fly yourself as well. So that's the goal that we have for each and every single one of you. Ivy is giving me a whole bunch of thumbs ups, like, on, whatever, right? Very cool. Glad you agree with whatever it was that I said. Funnel Stack is saying hi, Jessica. Jeanette is saying 加油永不放棄, right? Absolutely. That means go, go. Never give up. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your goals. Don't give up on what you want to do, because life is going to throw us lemonades. They're going to give us things that are sour, things that we need to fight and have obstacles to run through. But the moments that we decide that we will fight, that we will put up a fight, that we're not going to give up, that is the moment that you are making the commitment that you are going to keep going until you reach the very top. And that is the attitude that we as leaders must have. Okay. Facebook user says, came to know Simon from the Groovathon. Please excuse me as I don't know exactly what the mastermind is about. I think you are already inside the mastermind because we see you as Facebook user. And usually when you comment from inside the mastermind, our mastermind group, right, that this is a private group. And so I guess the platform is not able to see your name. And that's why we see Facebook user. So if, let's say, Nicholas or Jessica, if you can go into our mastermind group and help this person out, let them know what I just mentioned. I think I mentioned this a few times before already, but not everybody is able to listen and hear it, probably because they're trying to simultaneously do many things at the same time and trying to figure out how to get their name displayed. If you can help to just go into the group and let them know about finding me in the Facebook page to interact so that we can see them, that would be a tremendous help. Okay, very cool. Ivy is also saying, looking forward to see you showing us how you create captivating and entertaining videos. We have so many things planned and so not enough time to share everything. But the good news is we are locked down, right? I think you're also in Malaysia, Ivy. We got CMCO for the next month. Probably it will be extended, but even if it doesn't get extended, there's going to be many more weeks and months that we will have staying at home. So there will be a lot of opportunity for me to go online and fit within our mastermind groups. That's where I'm going to show you some really cool stuff as well. So for those of you who are watching us live right now, and you're not part of the mastermind group, okay, join us, simonleon.com/mastermind. And it's also in the back on the whiteboard that you can see right behind me. Jessica is also saying, hi, fun Ivy Law. Great to see you here. Jessica is saying, never give up, as well as when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. Yep. Absolutely. Cool. So while we took that long tangent to interact with you, let's go ahead and go back a little bit into our main topic of today. Now, when we started earlier, right, I mentioned something about the election. I mentioned about learning marketing lessons due to everything that is happening around, okay? And I noticed that we have a few more people than we did earlier when I announced that, which means that if you missed my announcement, everything that I talk about on my live streams, on my videos, on my Facebook and social media and everything else, I do not get into politics. I'm not going to tell you which side I am on. I'm not going to tell you what I believe in. I'm not going to endorse one side or the other, because I do not necessarily support the reaction that comes as a result of anybody who shares one side or the other, right? And so with that in mind, I'm not going to share, my stance on the election itself, but what I do want to do is to make sure that we take this as a learning lesson. We take this as a lesson in our life on what is suitable, what is appropriate as leaders, and what we should do in leadership to be able to get among the masses of people who follow us, to demonstrate the proper skills, the proper ways that we should behave, the things that we should say that garners the respect when people are looking up to us. Okay. And so it's very important for us, especially since we're talking about leaders today. We're talking about winners and how you can come up victorious in whatever it is that you do. It is so important that we take a step back and take a look at not only what the candidates are doing, but also how the people who follow them, how they are reacting, the things that they are saying, and what we should do or say or not do that will help us to distinguish us as better leaders as them. Okay, we got a lot more into detail yesterday in our session yesterday because it was the first day that the election results actually got announced. But today I'm gonna take a step back. I'm not gonna talk directly about the candidates themselves, but more so what happened as a result of these people following these candidates. Here's the thing. Especially when it comes to leadership, especially when it comes to becoming a successful person, a successful businessman or a businesswoman. One thing that you need to know is that we need to be consistent. Okay? Say consistent. Consistent. Okay? Write that down if you can. Consistent. Is consistency being able to consistently do something every single day, even if it's something small, right? Or something every single week, or something every single month, right? If you're able to follow a certain type of plan and do something consistently, well, the consistency is going to play a big part in your success. For example, ever since we decided that I was going to go live, right? I consistently did this several times a week. In fact, for the first 10 days, I was on live every single day for 10 days. Previous to that, I was on the Groovathon, right? And that Groovathon was 14 days. And even though I wasn't on 24 hours a day, the Groovathon was. And I was on basically most of the time at Groove at Night, right? But every single day, I was there. Every single Groove at Night session, I was there for anywhere between 4 hours to 8 hours and sometimes 10 hours or more consistently. And as a result, the Groove channel, the YouTube channel, got over 1,600 brand new subscribers and countless more people who joined the Facebook group. And let's talk numbers. Over those 14 days, the launch created $6.8 million USD in additional sales. Okay, so does consistency work? Yes, it absolutely does. So keep this in mind. Whatever it is that you might want to have, a goal, a message, something that you want to do. You want to upload videos. You want to write blog posts. You want to promote on social media. You want to build websites with Groove pages, right? You want to do whatever else that you will get as part of your platform, your free training, your community within Groove Funnels, whatever, right? The name of the game is that you need to be consistent. Now, what have we learned in the election that's not consistent? Well, we all know right now at the current time, right, who the elected winner is, right? The problem and what I saw that led to that downfall, maybe it's only one of many of different criteria, right? But even after the election date was actually over, even when people were already on the streets and they were counting votes, right? They were trying to see who is the winner. For the exact same party who believe in the same thing, who support the exact same candidate, who is open or trying to strive for the exact same result. In one city, you hear people chanting, count the votes, count the votes, count the votes, count the votes, right? Because they want the votes to be counted. But again, for the exact same goal, the exact same party, for the exact same candidate, you will see other people in other places. Now they are shouting, stop the count, stop the count, stop the count. They're two completely opposite things, aren't they? So how can you be supporting the same group and you want the exact same results, and you're supporting and you're striving for the victory of the exact same person, but you have two completely separate messages? Not just separate messages, completely opposite messages, aren't they? If you're not unanimous, if you can't agree on something, if you can't coincide on the exact same goal to do the exact same thing and reach the exact same objective to reach the exact same achievement, then how can you actually get there? Imagine if I say that we want to promote GrooveFunnels, right? And let's say Jessica, she's talking about GrooveFunnels, but Nicholas is talking about Wix. And then somebody else is talking about Squarespace, and somebody else is talking about WordPress. How can you have completely opposite competing messages, competing platforms, but yet still wanting to get sales and membership to the exact same end product? It doesn't make sense, does it? So when it comes to marketing, when it comes to consistency, I think there was something that was lacking towards the leadership, right? The leadership, whoever they were following, the leadership wasn't strong enough to make sure that the message was cohesive, was consistent. And that's why we had the shiny object syndrome, people doing opposite things, people asking for different actions. How can you expect the same result? It is impossible. Here's another example, and this is more so marketing, more so sales. You know what I am, right? What I've been doing for the past 15 years is, yeah, I've been an internet entrepreneur. I've been a marketer all this time, but a part of what I do, whether it's during seminars or during private client meetings, I have things to sell, right? I have products, I have courses, I have services. And when I was active in those businesses, well, guess what? I had to do sales. It's a big part of a lot of different businesses, jobs, careers, right? You have to sell something. And whether you agree with it or not, you think about this or not, at some point or another, we're always selling something, right? You're selling other people on ideas. You're selling other people on products and services. You're selling other people on yourself. Why should somebody hire you? Why should somebody be your friend? Why should somebody listen to you? Why should somebody partner with you? Why should somebody work with you, right? You're always selling something, including yourself. And so when I say that I do sales, in sales environments, what I learned is, among many different call to actions, okay, one of the biggest ones is that they need to take action right now. Okay, if I'm on stage and I want people to take action, it's because I say take action right now that causes the table rush, if that happens, right? That's why when people want to sign up for something, I have some type of sense of urgency. Maybe if they take action within the next 5 minutes, they get an extra bonus. Maybe if they take action within the next 1 or 2 hours, right, then they get some type of discount. Maybe if they take action within the next day or two, they get an extra kind of guarantee or some type of an extra gift or a part of the community, whatever. They get an extra day of training, something, right? These are all one or several of many different what we call sense of urgency in this marketing strategy. So what I learned 15 years ago is that when you want people to take action and you need them to take some kind of action, they need to take action immediately. Well, when it came to the elections, right? Of course, one side, there was this one big thing about the mail-in ballots, right? One side didn't want people to do mail-in ballots. They said that they needed to vote in person. And so when this person obviously was doing a lot of the different rallies and they had all these people who were actually on their side and they're saying, yeah, and they're excited, they're ready to take action now. Of course, the in-person voting was not ready by then, right? And so what happens? What are they forced to do? Are you excited? Right? You want to take action now, right? You want to change the world. You want to change your life. You want to make America great, right? You want to make everything super cool. You want to make sure that your freedom is going to happen for you right now. And the next 4 years is going to be the best one to come, right? Don't vote now. Wait 2 weeks. Take action 1 month from now. Don't do anything at the moment. Just keep that excitement. Keep being excited and keep that energy level up. And in 2 weeks, I'll see you at the voting poll. How much less effective is that compared to, are you excited now? You want to take action now? Vote right now. Put in your vote right now. Vote for me right now. Take action immediately. And if you have right there, while all the thousands of people are so excited and ready to take action, right? Take that opportunity, seize the opportunity to make sure that your results get in right then and there, right? Imagine how much more votes, how many more votes, and how much more impactful that would have been. Instead of saying, for me, right, if I were at a seminar, if I'm doing a webinar and I'm saying, are you excited? You want to take action now? You want to be a part of my community, right? It's only going to be an X amount, but don't invest now. Invest 2 weeks from now. Invest next month, right? Just the same. If I'm saying, hey, you want to join my community? You want to be a part of my mastermind? It's free, right? It's free right now. Join right now. But it's not going to be free. It's not going to be free in 2 weeks. Join then, right? Because then you'll be able to pay me and I'll be able to make money or whatever else. It's so much less impactful if you don't get people to act immediately. That's why we call it a sense of urgency, right? That's why we call it a call to action. That's why we need people to take immediate, massive action. That's how you get your results. Okay, so don't make these types of mistakes. Granted, the situations may be situational, right? Maybe the ballots were not available at that point in time. Maybe this person really didn't believe in the million ballots, and maybe this person really wanted people to take a certain type of action, but that doesn't distract us from the fact that when you are here and you're telling people not to take action now, but rather do it 2 weeks later or a month later, you are going to lose a good percentage of your supports. You're going to lose a good percentage of your sales if you're doing sales. And in that example, I'm sure that person also lost a good amount of those votes. Okay, so don't make those mistakes. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these comments that are coming in. We have BK Tan, who is joining us from YouTube, saying, good afternoon, Simon. I got to be your friend in Facebook, not on your mastermind group. Okay, so still very new and trying my best to catch up. Very cool. Thank you for joining us from YouTube right now, and thank you for connecting on Facebook. If you are interested in joining me in my mastermind, of course, you can definitely feel free to do so at simonliam.com/mastermind. That link is also right behind me, as you can see on the whiteboard. Jessica is also saying, yes, we are always selling something, a product, service, your message, a cause, an idea, yourself, etc. I agree. And in many cases, just the concept, just our perspective, just what we feel like is selling all on its own, right? We are always selling, even in different ideas. And just from the fallout of the election, right? We did talk about a little bit of this yesterday, but you know, the same people who are the leaders, right? The same people who are on the top, who are saying, fraudulent activity actually happened, right? Well, as a result, that's what this person's followers are also saying. On the same note, on the other side, when they're saying everything was voted legally and no fraudulent activity has happened, right? And everything happened fair and square. Okay, the voting process was a fair process. Now, all this person's followers also are saying the same thing. So you can see just the power of the leadership, how people really do look up to their leaders, whoever they are following, right? So that's why if you also want to be a leader, it is so important for you to act appropriately, for you to say the right things and act the right way and behave appropriately, simply because if at any given point you are saying the wrong things, you're acting immaturely, you're saying things that you shouldn't be doing, you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing, well, what you're doing is you're causing all the people, it's like a domino effect, right? All the people who previously or are currently following you, well, you've just cloned yourself. All the bad messaging, all the immature insults, all the all the all the things that we shouldn't really be saying publicly, right? The unprofessionalism, the lack of manners, all these different things are going to get cloned over and over and over again. So I'm sure you will agree when I say we would much rather that positivity gets cloned as opposed to negativity, right? So in that case, make sure that if you, again, want to take up a role as a leader, do not make the same mistakes as some of the other leaders, what I perceive to be mistakes, because just take a look at what the internet, our society has become, right? People are butting heads. People are calling each other names, imbeciles, idiots, morons, stupid, dumb, whatever, just because they don't believe the same thing that they do, just because they're on different sides, just because they have differentiating opinions, right? Why did it have to come to this? I don't think that it needed to. But of course, I'm sure you would agree that it was highly, highly influenced from the top down. So what I'm saying again is, if you do want to be an influencer, you want to be a leader, let's take a step back and let's start to do it the right way and do the right thing. Jessica is also saying, don't focus on selling, instead provide great value, solve their problem, get that person to reduce their pain, and emphasize, genuinely care, and be authentic. And yes, exactly, when you genuinely care and be authentic, those are the characteristics of a leader, right? Not saying things like, I don't have time for that, or I should rather be doing something else, or I would rather do something on my own, right? You need to show that you care and be authentic by just simply, wherever you are, right? Whichever community that you're in, whenever you are provided the opportunity to become that leader, take it, seize it, right? Because not everybody has the opportunity to always be recognized as a leader. And when you are recognized as a leader, there is so much opportunity for you as a leader. And that's something else that is a whole different topic that we can be talking about in a separate private mastermind session. Jessica is also saying, then the sales come as a consequence from you not trying to sell. It is win-win. And it's great, right? It's because not very many people are comfortable with selling. You are, Jessica, I am, but not everybody is. And the beauty of sharing, of expressing, gratitude and just genuinely caring about other people just for the sake of sharing value, right? Expressing and delivering true value. You can actually be able to get sales from sharing. And this is exactly what's been happening, right? To a lot of the people who seize the opportunity to get interviewed during the groovathon, as I was talking about the other day, right? Up until now, I'm still getting messages from people whom I interviewed thanking me, right? Because they said after their session with me, they are still continuing to get more and more people into their inner circle. Some people said they got an influx of brand new members into their group. So again, because they were identified as a leader by me and they seized the opportunity to be in that particular community, right? To share their knowledge with nothing in expectation in return, I surprised them by saying, hey, so how can people get in touch with you if they want to learn more from you, right? How can people join your group? How can people get your direct details? Or how can people find out more about you or your product or your service? And as a result, of course, they got more exposure, they got more members, and some people, they got more sales as well. So it definitely is that win-win-win situation that Jessica just mentioned. Bring back professionalism, positivity, and raise the bar. Don't stoop down to your haters' level. And it's so easy, right, to stoop down to their level. It's so easy to go with an eye for an eye type of mentality. And of course, it takes a much bigger person to rise above the hate. If you want to see examples of how I dealt with one of my haters who actually crossed the line, defamed me, and the way that they crossed the line was they actually involved my family. I ignored this person for over 2 years. until it got personal, and at which point I felt the need to defend not just myself, but my family. In fact, I couldn't give a rat's, ass about what other people think about me. That's why I stayed silent for over 2 years. I let them talk. I let the people who are gullible just believe all these lies and fabricated tales. And in fact, I used that as my opportunity to see who my real friends are. Of course, I was I was met with a lot of disappointment because a lot of people whom I've met a long time ago, been friends with for over a decade and a half, prove that they could not be trusted, showed their true colors, right? And as a result, we unfortunately are no longer friends. But as Jessica mentioned, right, you will have your haters. Don't stoop down to their level. I do not have an eye for an eye type of mentality, even though I responded with these different types of videos as well as posts. I did not take the next level. I did not take it to the courts. I did not, even though I had a perfectly good case where my legal team told me that I could easily get over 6 figures in damages in everything that this person had done that were so illegal. I decided not to do it just because I didn't want to be that person, right? I had a bigger, uh, much bigger fishes to fry. I didn't want the negativity. I did not want to stoop down to their level, and I just wanted this whole thing behind me. So lucky for this person that they made the mistake of defaming me and not somebody else, because I can guarantee not everybody will be this nice. Okay, so yes, we make sure that we don't stoop down to their level. Jessica also says we all have the same time, 24 hours in a day. Of course, it's what you prioritize and what you focus on. Deliver true value, and that's what we absolutely must do and focus on every single day. I've been working in sales and marketing since I was 17 years ago. I never focused on a sale. That's the secrets of my success. Well, that's great. I think in terms of making sales and the secrets of success and everything, those are all obviously things that you can provide as information and content as well. Simon has live examples of haters and trolls on his own live streams. Watch the replays and watch him handle it professionally. Yeah, so in addition to the defamation series, of course, when you're live, right, you're just all over the place. You are on the air, on YouTube, on Facebook, across multiple profiles, multiple destinations. I'm also on Twitch, on Twitter. We're later on also going to get on LinkedIn and other channels as well. So yeah, you're going to get people whom you don't know, who don't know you and don't know any better. And they're going to start to say bad things about you. And so whenever that does happen, yep, as Jessica mentioned, I just say, hey, check this out. Look what I got, a hater. And then I basically deal with it all online, all live and in person, so that you can see exactly how I deal with it, to give you some ideas on how you can deal with it as well. Going back to our topic, right? Let's talk about entrepreneurs for just a moment, because we can talk about, politics, and there's so many examples, right, on both sides. Whether we just talked about fraudsters and cheaters, one side or the other, they're both calling each other cheaters. They're both calling each other criminals. They're both saying that if this side wins and this side loses, or if this side wins and this side loses, the side that loses is going to jail, right? We have so many of that because they somehow think that's how they think. Okay, they just think that they're so righteous that whoever do not agree with you is criminal. They're doing wrong thing. They're calling each other old. They're calling each other senile. They're both saying that this person cannot put together a sentence, and then this side is calling this person cannot put together a sentence. Right? Something is wrong when not only is it coming from the top down, but everybody is using the same insults for one another. Of course, they're calling each other liars. This person says that this person doesn't make sense, and this person also says that this person doesn't make sense. To me, after taking a step back, I realized that neither party, neither people who are insulting each other, right? Neither side make sense. So what's the moral of the story, right? Of course, these are extreme examples of the people who are all the way at the far left and all the way at the far right, but some people may be able to meet in the middle. I can't say that I will meet in the middle, because if I say that I'm on left, right, on the left, well, this is my right, but when you're watching on the screen, that's the left, right? So when you're on the left, the right people, they will insult you. If you're say anything or express anything that is an argument of the right side, then the left will insult you. But if I say that I'm in the middle, then I will get attacked by both sides, because it's like, if you're not with me, you're against me type of mentality, right? So that's therein lies the problem, right? Why can't we all just get along, right? Why can't we all just be on the same side and respect that if somebody is not in agreement with you, they just have different opinions, right? Why can't we respect that from one another? If you don't, then unfortunately, that is not a leadership characteristic, right? And so if you are already a leader and you play one of those roles, then whoever is following you, whoever adores you, whoever is one of your raving fans, then they're going to start copying what you say. They start copying what you do. And again, we're cloning mini-me's. We're cloning ourselves, and it's not the best version of ourselves. So take a step back. Realize what would be the best version of ourselves and put that side out there. And hopefully other people will be able to clone the better version of you. Now, let's talk more about the entrepreneurship side. Because yes, we do talk about fake gurus. We talk about people who pretend to be people whom they're not. But yet, on the other side of the spectrum, there are also people who are students, and the people who complain about these fake gurus, the people who complain about getting scammed, for people who complain about these people pretending to be people whom they're not, I would actually dare to say a good majority of them are actually not victims themselves. A majority of them probably didn't get scammed. Probably some of them did, but the majority of them, the reason why they failed and the reason why they consider themselves to be victims, 99% is because they themselves also didn't take action. Sure, maybe they invested in the wrong guru, but maybe in addition to that one guru that was a fake guru, they also, and it's highly likely, right? It's highly likely that they also invested in other people. And now they're saying, okay, all these people are fake gurus. All these people are scammers. When in reality, probably 4 out of 5 or 9 out of 10 are actually the fake gurus, but one of them is actually the real deal. But unfortunately, that one person got looped into everyone else, all because that one student didn't take action in any of them, right? So now everybody's fake. Everybody's a scammer. Everybody is trying to get them, right? They're out to get them. And everybody is not to be trusted. Everybody's a criminal, right? In reality, as I mentioned, it is that one person who didn't take action. So when you also put yourself out there, and when you also want to be a leader and you want to do the righteous thing and start getting your own followers, right? Because now you say, listen to me, here, right? Listen to me. I can tell you who not to follow, and I can tell you who all the fakers are. I can tell you who all the scammers are. I see this in a lot of different forums, in a lot of different posts, right? People claiming that they have been scammed. People claiming that they have been lied to, that they have been victims of fake gurus, and they want to list the names of people that scammed them, right? And sure, once they start listing the names, you will start to see a lot of people that I recognize for sure to be the fake gurus. But then I also recognize some names that are actual veterans and legends in the industry who know what they're talking about, also in that group of name. And the reason why they're there is because the person who made the list actually never did anything. So they're blaming other people, right, for their own inaction. They're playing victim just because they did not do anything, just because they didn't take action. So you, as a leader, in that respect, also need to be responsible. Responsible as number one, take responsibility. Know that you also have the responsibility to implement what you've learned. You can't just invest in a course and expect it to be a miracle thing for you that will work for you overnight. Even if you don't do anything, push button easy, and you become rich in 24 hours, right? If that's what you expected and you invested in that, buying into a dream, which is not reality. Unfortunately, that would be your own fault for not really understanding what you invested in. But responsibility also, in addition to that, in that when people are going to listen to you, they believe you on who these fake gurus are. And when you irresponsibly loop in somebody who is an actual guru, an actual expert, an actual specialist who does help other people, and you loop in those names in conjunction with everybody else, now you also have the responsibility of trying to ruin somebody's reputation, bringing somebody down, and alienating, preventing, avoiding the opportunity for other people to learn from these real gurus because they believed you and believe that this person is not a real guru, it's a fake guru. So this person doesn't invest in that person anymore, whereby instead, or rather, if they did not see your list, they would have entrusted in this guru, and this guru could have changed these people's lives, right? So there's a lot of irresponsibility, a lot of irresponsible actions, a lot of things that people are not really thinking through that's going on around the world. And again, it's going on both sides, right? So it's neither one nor the other only. That's why I always say, I don't take sides. For me, I would try to be in the middle. I would try to be neutral. I would try to think things on both ends. And there will be things that I will agree from both sides, and there will be things that I won't agree with on both sides as well. In different situations, whether it's about the pandemic, whether it's about politics, whether it's about civil unrest, whether it's about the topic of fake gurus, or just students who don't take action, right? There is always two sides, as they say, of every story. And so what I do is I take a step back, think logically, okay? Think rationally, and be that person who doesn't react and think and act on emotions only, because when you do that, you are doing the other side injustice. Okay. And what we always strive to be is the best in what we do. We got to be fair. And when you know how to be fair, you know how to take control, how to take responsibility, right? Then you will become a leader. Okay. So very cool. Very cool. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of our friends who are sharing with us right now. I'm scrolling through trying to see where it was that I last left off. Okay, the funnel stack is saying, I've never even seen a hater on these lives. Maybe I'm not paying close enough attention. Maybe you're not paying close enough attention, because we definitely not only demonstrated the haters, but we demonstrated on multiple occasions live as they were coming in. So very cool. It's another reason for you to check out some of our replays, the funnel stack. I'm sure not only will you get entertained when you do find them, but hopefully you will find some additional value the second or third time around that you see our content. Jessica is saying leadership comes from the top down. Yes, exactly. Not only that, but your actions, right? The behavior, the words, everything comes from the top down. So if the leader is being childish, if the leader is using inappropriate language, if the leader is blasting the other side inappropriately, then that's what the followers are gonna do, right? That's exactly what is happening, and that is exactly what we are seeing as well. Richie, you're saying, hey Simon, good to see you, my friend. Join us from Facebook. Thank you for coming by. Exposed King is saying, hi, my name is Ansh. Nice to meet you, Ansh. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us from YouTube. Hopefully you are subscribed with the bell notification turned on. This is the first time that we're interacting, so welcome to our community. Jessica is saying, agree to disagree and respect different views. Be the best version of yourself. Yeah. And that's really just the fundamentals, right? Agree to disagree and just be respectful. I honestly cannot understand why so many people just choose to look the other way and become disrespectful. Richie is saying, I know why is that? Since when did we become enemies? I'm like, we're citizens, neighbors, friends. We're not enemies. We just don't agree on something. That doesn't make us enemies. And logically speaking, in a rational, ideal world, that's just the way that it should be, right? But you and I both know that within the last few years, some things just changed. And unfortunately, for people whom I looked up to, when I start out, I see them as mentors. I see them as higher level than me. I see them as people that I look up to, my coaches, people who helped me when I first got started, right? These were my mentor figures, leaders to me, right? And I see them acting inappropriately, saying things that they shouldn't be saying. And as a result, the dozens, sometimes hundreds, sometimes thousands of responses in their comments, it says it all, right? People who obviously are diehard raving fans of them also saying the exact same thing, following the exact same suits, repeating the exact same language and using the same type of insults and inappropriate words. It just is very sad. And what I'm saying, again, take a step back, realize what is happening. Pay attention to what you're saying. Do you even see what is happening? What type of hurt mentality, community that you are creating? Do you see something wrong with that? Right? Because if you don't, then this is the core of the problem. And for those of us who do see the problem and say that, why is this necessary? Exactly what Richie is saying. Why is that? We are not enemies. At the end of the day, we are all fighting for the exact same thing, right? It's not that one side wants war and the other side wants peace. It's not that one side wants health and the other side wants death, right? Both sides want freedom. Both sides want the best for their family. Both sides just want the best possible lifestyle and the best possible environment, the best possible society, best possible environment for everybody involved. Nobody wants something worse than the other. I don't want the worst for you and you don't want the worst for me. We're all after the same thing, aren't we? I'm not your enemy, dude. I'm your friend, right? And just because we have different processes of trying to get that, different thoughts processes, different opinions, it doesn't mean that we are against each other. So I also don't understand why it needs to come to this, why it needs to become an enemy war mentality. But unfortunately, when we see that that does happen, bringing it back full circle, right? It all has to do with the leadership, the people whom they are following. And I'm not talking about necessarily the presidential candidates, right? I'm talking about, again, the people that I consider to be my mentors, the leaders who are in the, let's say, internet marketing space or the business space or the Forex trading space, people who are perceived to be leaders, right? And people who respect them and follow them. Well, whatever it is that you say, they're going to repeat, right? And that's unfortunately what's been happening. People have just been turning each other into enemies, and that is unfortunate. Jessica is saying there are no victims. Shift this negative mindset and take responsibility and be accountable. Then you will be a victor. Yes, and that's what we're talking about, right? Become a winner. Stop with the whole victim mentality. Stop thinking that the world owes you something. Stop blaming other people for what's happening around the world. You are responsible for yourself. Take responsibility, be accountable for your own actions, inactions, your own mindset, and that is the only way that you will win. Richie says, that's what she said, but boom, whatever that joke was. I don't remember what I said. I don't remember what what you're referring to, but I'm sure it was very funny. So thank you for bringing light to this conversation. Jessica is saying, stop blaming other people for not taking responsibility and stop playing victim. Then you will be successful. Take action. Yes, taking notes on some of the things that I've mentioned. Thank you very much for doing that. The funnel stack is saying, I've had to ask for a couple of refunds because they were terrible products, but I never name them. And that's the really, right? That's part of the business. Some products are terrible. I agree. Actually, a lot of products are terrible. A lot of courses are horrible. That's why we call them fake gurus, right? People pretending to be people whom they're not. But the thing is, if they're online products such as ClickBank or whatever, there is a mandatory 60-day refund period, right? If you're doing live events, seminars, or whatever else, there is also a money back guarantee. If you feel like it's not for you, because you didn't take action, because it's a terrible product, because it didn't help you, then close in, take advantage of that money back guarantee, right? And it doesn't have to go to that next level. You don't have to call that person a scammer unless that person doesn't want to give you back your money, okay? Then you might have a case, in which case, maybe you still need to take a little bit of responsibility in the case that you didn't take any action, and that it was actually your fault and you didn't follow any conditions or whatever else. But assuming that you did take action, assuming that you followed everything to the T of what was taught and it just plainly didn't work, okay, then yes, you are definitely due your money back. Ask for a refund, and if they don't give you back your money just because they say, oh yeah, I don't want to give you your money back, right, then maybe you have a case in that example. Jessica is saying, fail forward fast, learn from your mistakes and failures, and move onwards and upwards fast. It's always about moving ahead. Yes, definitely. Jessica is also saying it's all an experience for us to learn, grow, and evolve. Talking to the funnel stack, she's also saying, I will locate the exact replay of these real examples of Simon's haters. Thank you very much for your help. Nicholas is saying, good leaders lead from the top down because they learned from the bottom up on what not to do. Yep, we all start somewhere, right? And like I said, even though some people consider me to be a leader or a mentor, I still never forget my roots. I still remember when I first got started, the people that I looked up to, the people that I considered to be leaders, to be mentors, to be my coaches, right? And a lot of times, I do not copy, I do not clone, because I know better. I do not make a clone of them, right? But I see what they're doing and I notice what they're doing. And a lot of times I do not agree, but I also see the things that they say, the insults that they hurl. Other people are now replicating what they do. And so that's what we mean, right? If you're going to be a leader, you have the responsibility to make sure that you're creating better people, not worse and worse people, not to contribute to the negativity of our society, not to contribute to the problems that we already have, as if we don't have enough problems, right? Be a problem solver, be a bigger person, know how to speak with class, know how to resolve issues without stooping down into the levels of truly negative people. That is true leadership, okay? So regardless of how you feel on different types of situations and different types of scenarios, whether it's political or pandemic or civil unrest or whatever else, just be civil, okay? It's not that hard. All right. Elegant Art Creations is saying, hi Simon, what is this mastermind for? Thank you very much, Elegant Art Creations, for saying hi. Join us for the very first time. You can learn more about the mastermind by going to simonleon.com/mastermind. We are basically a group of entrepreneurs, and we just want to help each other to succeed. So if you're interested to get more information, simply go to simonleon.com/mastermind. Once inside, you will get all the information that you are seeking. So our goal for me, and not only me, but for the leaders who are also on this live stream right now, we are here to help everyone be involved in what they do. And if you so happen to either want to be a leader, or maybe you are also a leader yourself already, I just don't know who you are at the moment, but maybe you're already a leader, maybe you're already successful, maybe you want to be a mentor, a coach, or something else, you just want to help other people. Well, this is the platform that we want to provide for leaders as well as students alike to help one another. So definitely a cool place to be. Check it out if you want. Jessica is saying we are all global citizens. Let's be a positive role model as a leader. Jessica also shared, let's be a part of the global solution. Instead of adding to the global problem, we are all friends and not enemies, as we should be, right? The majority of the people out there, as we see every single day in our newsfeed, unfortunately, they want to draw that line, right? They say, if you don't believe what I believe in, unfortunately, we cannot be friends anymore. Oh, well, I think it's too late to pull them back in. But what I'm saying is, for anyone who is watching this stream, for anyone who is live with us, for anyone who is a part of this community, hopefully there is still enough time for you to take a step back, think in a much bigger picture type of environment, and know that not everybody who disagrees with you is your enemy. All leaders and influencers that people listen to and take direction from, yes, we have that responsibility to make sure that we are providing the perfect example. The funnel stack is saying, if a guru is super terrible, but they honor refunds, no one should complain. Yeah, I mean, if you didn't lose anything from it, right? No loss from you, then you shouldn't be complaining. You didn't lose anything, right? So for those who are in those examples, they still want to play the victim card, they still want to complain, they still want to whine, then obviously the problem is with them. Jessica says, never forget your roots. Yep. And that is a very important quote that I will also quote myself on. The funnel stack is saying, Jessica, Simon is far too nice to have haters. They were probably just lost. Yeah, they definitely were lost. They probably still are lost. And unfortunately, whether or not you're nice, one thing that we learn is that we simply cannot be everything to everybody. For everybody who support Trump right now, right? I think they think the same thing about him. How can you not support Trump? He is so the best president, blah, blah, whatever else that we've had in the history, and we support everything that he says, but still, right, over 74 million people voted for the other side, and same thing for the other side, right? For Biden, 74 million people voted for him, but at the same time, all 74 million people are thinking, oh, wow, this is the solution to all of our problems. You're going to erase the mess that happened over the last 4 years, blah, blah, blah. But still, over 71 million also voted for the other side. It's practically a 50-50 split, isn't it? So no matter how nice you are, no matter how many people support you, no matter how good of a job that you think that you are doing, how much value that you are providing, how great of a future you feel like you can provide for your people, there is still going to be 50% of the population who will always be against you, who won't agree with you, who still hate you, who still say bad things about you, who still wish for you and your family to die a terrible death just because that's the kind of people that they are, right? That's nothing that we can control. So unfortunately, that is just that. Okay, so Richie is saying, oh, hey, all, I had to restart. And you're also saying, huh? I don't know what you're huhing about. So if you have a question, ideally, you can just ask what the question is. Oh, there you go. I think Richie is now trying to get clarification. What do you do when you think they both suck? Okay, so just to clarify, okay, that was an example, and I'm not saying, I'm not saying one side or the other suck. I'm just saying that, you will have, whether you're on one side or the other side, you're going to have 50% of the people who will still think that you suck simply because they don't agree with you. So the main point of that is you can't be everything to everybody. But to answer your question, if let's say that you are neither a fan of Biden nor Trump, then I guess what you can do is not vote, or you can vote for Kanye West, right? But I think we all know, if you vote for anyone other than the top two candidates, you're pretty much throwing your vote away, because it's not going to count. It's not going to matter. You're not going to get enough votes to make that difference. So in that case, if you think that both sides suck, then I guess you simply go for whichever side you think sucks less, right? That would be my recommendation. But for the record, I am not saying that I am for one or the other, because I do not personally get political publicly, especially on my live streams or my post or anything like that. Jessica is saying, not everyone is going to like us, and that's okay. There's no need to be nasty. We all know that. Anyone who is rational knows that, but unfortunately, most people don't. Richie says, when you ate Trump, when you said Trump was the best, I was just coming in when you said that. Oh, I get it now. Okay, yeah. So that was a clarification. It was an example. Like if now I was saying, yeah, so I'm a Trump supporter and I say Trump's the best, right? So that was basically an example. And now now I'm a Biden supporter and now I'm saying Biden is the best. Basically, that's an example of, you know, the other 50% will never agree with you. Cool. The funnel stack is saying, I could talk to you for hours about the election, Simon, but definitely not here. This is not the time and definitely not the place. And I probably, just between me and you and everyone else who's watching, I actually do not have much interest in discussing politics. I'm always open, of course, to listening, and I'm always open to, you know, hearing different opinions, because it can be a different perspective, a different light on a different side of things that maybe I never heard of, never thought of. I can learn something new, right? But of course, I usually try not to contribute any of my own views, just because it is, you know, to the wrong people. If I'm talking to, they can get easily offended or whatever else, and I just simply don't want to get involved in that regard. Richie is saying, buy a sailboat and live off the grid. Yeah, or you can move out of the US like I did. Yeah, LOL. We have a new friend. We have a new friend who is over here, but just because we have a little bit of, I don't know if this is something that is not so cool, but it is a little bit weird. I don't know if it's borderline disrespectful, but somebody is telling me to say that person's name, and just because I don't really like to be told what to do, I'm not gonna say your name, but I will show you and your message. So congratulations, you have been featured. Let's see what this person says afterwards. And if this person decides to say something not nice, then I will also feature you as well. But I'm not going to say your name just because you asked me to. We have another new friend saying thumbs up. Good day. Hello, watching from London. Okay, I can't really pronounce your name, Kletchie or NV or whatever else, but thank you very much for watching us from London, joining us from YouTube. Congratulations. You have just joined the coolest live stream that talks about absolutely nothing most of the time, but today we're talking about leadership, about being responsible, and so here we are. Jessica is saying, hey Richie, thanks for joining us and commenting, and well pronounced. Thank you very much for all of that. All right, so winding down towards the end of our stream today. Of course, we still want you to become the best version of yourself that you can be, become the best version of an entrepreneur that you can be as well, and become the best version of a leader that you can be as well. So speaking of leadership, in summary, we all want to take responsibility, right? We don't want to point fingers, because it's easy to point fingers. It's easy to say that, you know, this is something that we don't want to do, or we've been put into a position where, you know, something went wrong, like technology went wrong. And the reason why something went wrong was because I didn't have backup, right? Because let's say, for example, for Groove at Night, which you can learn more about here, right? SimonLeon.com/Groovathon. When I took on as the co-host for Groove at Night for the first several days, it was just me. And I easily could have said no, because it was something that, you know, would require a lot of my time. It was something that required a lot of my energy, time away from my family, time away from my business, time away from things that I normally would be doing. But I said yes because it wasn't that I said yes despite all of that. It was because I saw it as an opportunity, right? I didn't think of it as a burden. I didn't think of it as a problem. I didn't think of it as a challenge. I saw it as an opportunity. When there are problems, right? If things go down, if my interviewers didn't show up, if my co-host, right, couldn't be there for me, I saw all those things as opportunities. But because I was on as the host, all eyes were on me. when things didn't happen as planned, I didn't point fingers. I didn't say that person said that this person said that they were going to be here, but they weren't, right? When that happened, I just kept the show going. As they say, the show must go on. So you take responsibility. You don't point fingers. You don't blame other people when things go wrong. That's what leaders do. Instead, you adapt, right? You take hold of that situation and you take responsibility for it. You know that all eyes are on you and people are looking at you. You know the show needs to go on no matter what. So it is your responsibility to make sure that it continues to go. It continues to flow, that you continue to bring value to whomever might be watching you, regardless, no matter what, because that's what it's there to do. So adapt and make sure that you are a problem solver. Now, of course, in 2020, we talked about this earlier, right? Yet another great example is when the whole lockdown thing happened. Now we're in the middle of yet another lockdown. And this time, just like the first time around, we see people who are freaking out online, people who are learning from the wrong leaders initially when it was locked down and, we can't go out and everything else. People, they were just like, okay, it's something that we have to do, right? But of course, because of the news that has been happening all around the world, everything's been happening in the US, they see, right? People who are here, they also start to see what other people in other countries are doing. The leaders that they looked up to, right? And now we start to see more and more people, even locally, speak out about not following SOP, speak out about why it's such a big burden on them to have to lock down, why they should need to wear masks and whatever else, right? When before it wasn't a problem whatsoever. People just did it. And as a result, the first time around, the cases went down and down and down to the point where just several weeks after the lockdown, there were no more cases, right? And we were able to open back up. In fact, in Penang, there was over 100 days of us being in the green zone, which means 0 cases and no new cases whatsoever because everybody followed SOP. But then what happened, right? People start to get negatively influenced by the news and what other people are doing in other countries, and people not wearing masks and not wearing SOPs and not following SOPs and not social distancing and all those things. And now they think that it's okay. Well, guess what? Now we have so many cases that we need to go back into lockdown. So do you see why it is so important for us to follow the right leaders, to have the right leaders who provide good examples for other people to follow, right? Because when things like this, when we have the bad leaders and we have the people who react differently, and people look up to those people who are yelling on the streets and saying bad things and not wearing masks and throwing tantrums, right? Now you see other countries that previously had the pandemic under control. Now the cases are also rising just because they're following bad examples. Okay, so the message is these are things that are outside of our direct control. But when things are getting locked down now, people are complaining and again playing the victim, and more people are saying the government doesn't care about us, they don't care about we don't have put food on the table, blah, blah, blah. Okay, take a step back, right? And you understand why they're saying that, but at the same time, it is also your responsibility, isn't it? We talked about this earlier in the beginning of this live stream. It is your responsibility to solve your problems. It is not the government's responsibility. The government's responsibility is to make sure that you are safe, right? A responsible government will want and make sure that the proper SOPs are in order so that you can remain healthy, so that you and your family can stay safe, so that as many citizens as possible can remain alive, right? And not get sick and not go to the hospital and not get infected and all those things, right? There's only so much that the communities, the society, the government can do for you. So when you talk about your own personal problems, how you are going to survive, how you're going to put food on the table, how you are going to make ends meet, it's your responsibility. Just like if the country is opened, right? It's still your responsibility to make sure that you put food on the table, that you pay your bills, that you pay your rent and your mortgage or whatever else. The government isn't going to give you money and put money in your pocket and take care of you for you. Just like the presidency, right? It doesn't matter if Joe Biden is the president. It doesn't matter if Trump is the president. It doesn't matter if it's Obama is the president again, right? It doesn't matter if it's somebody else. None of them are going to put money in your pocket either. You're still going to be responsible for making your own ends meet. You're still going to be responsible for living your life. You're still going to be responsible for making sure that you upkeep your own responsibilities in what you are doing in your day-to-day life, to take care of your family, to live the lifestyle that you want, to follow your dreams. It doesn't matter who that leader is if you know how to think, if you know how to be responsible for yourself, right? So don't always depend on other people. And when things don't go right, okay, do not make it a habit to point fingers, to blame other people. Oh, I don't have the best life that I want right now because I cannot pursue it, right? For me, I've had my best year yet because of the pandemic. I've had my best year yet, not just financially, but mentally, emotionally, personally. I've been able to spend more time with my family. I've been able to be more personally involved in the upbringing of my little one, to be involved in her education, to spend more fun time with her, watching movies, and both of us learning together different things. And whenever possible, of course, I teach her. And in the mornings, I go on walks with her, and we work out and we exercise and we play games and all those things. If it was 1 year ago, right, I wouldn't have the opportunity to do any of that. But very easily, I could have said, oh my gosh, what am I going to do, right? I cannot go out. I cannot run my seminar business. I need to close down my KL office and my Penang office because we're not able to go outside anymore. I can't travel around the world and speak for my event organizers at seminars around the globe. I cannot meet up with my agent for my clients in my agency business. I cannot do consultations. I had to close down so many of my businesses. But guess what? I still have had my most successful year since then, okay? Yet, and it's still gonna be scheduled to be even more successful than ever, more opportunities than ever. It's because I took control. I took responsibility and I took massive action. So I don't know if you want to see me as a leader. I don't know if you want to see me as a role model. I don't know if you want to see me as a coach, a mentor, or whatever else. It doesn't matter. Even if you only simply see me as just a person who capitalized in my own personal way the pandemic and not see myself as a victim, but rather seize the opportunities that were presented to me. If only a little bit, and you only want to see this as an inspiration for yourself to take action, see this as motivation for you to take the next step forward and stop making excuses, stop whining, stop complaining, and use this as your chance to once and for all think, right, how to make this with the less than 2 months that we have left in 2020, set the roadblocks, set the blocks, set the stepping stones, set everything that you need to do to make sure that the rest of 2020 can still be your best year yet. Set the stones for 2021 to be even better, and 2022 to be even better than that. If only you even want to see that as just a small inkling of an inspiration, then my job is done. Okay? I'm not asking you to follow me. I'm not asking you to see me as a leader. I don't care if you see me as a mentor or a coach or not, or just some schmuck online who's running his mouth, right? It doesn't matter. If this is not for you, it's not for you. If this makes no difference for you, then it makes no difference for you. But the reason that I am here is, of course, if there's even only one person who wants to listen to me, if there's even only one single person whose life can be changed, be inspired, be impacted as a result of the message that I share in any one of my live sessions, in my videos, or my private sessions, then it's all worth it. Okay, so in terms of, for me, my one hope is that if you do get inspired, then you strive to also become a leader yourself. You strive to also inspire other people and help others in the exact same way that you have been helped. So we want to clone ourselves. Our definition of leadership is not to clone negativity, have people say bad things and clone that and multiply the negativity and the insults and everything else, but rather multiply the positivity, multiply the giving, multiply the sharing. And we, one person at a time, will strive to make this world a much better place. All right, so that is all that I have to share with you today. In closing, as always, I will go ahead and read out some of these last final comments to interact with you, because this is what we are all about, okay? We strive on the interaction. We make sure that all of you feel welcome and a part of the community. And that is, of course, something that we strive for you to do as well as a part of our community. So Richie is saying, thanks for being here all the time when I log on. I do try, but of course, I am here on different times and different days. It might not be every single day, and it might not be every single time, every single day, but hopefully you do have those bell notifications turned on, whether it is on Facebook or on YouTube, as you can see right here. Subscribe if you're on YouTube, like if you're on Facebook, and make sure those notifications are turned on so that you can be notified theoretically, and hopefully it works whenever I am on live. Clet Chi is saying, thanks, host. You're very welcome. Jessica is replying to Richie, LOL. Richie is also saying, I learn a lot in these streams. Thank you very much, Richie. I am glad to hear that. It is, of course, something that that we strive to do, is to bring value, and hopefully, you know, in the 1 or 2 hours that we always spend with you in these sessions, there is something that you can take away. Currently, I'm doing course about leadership. Do you mean that you are conducting the course, or do you mean that you are attending the course? Because leadership is definitely a very important topic, and we definitely need more of that these days, especially the positive kind. Right, Jessica is saying to Richie, ditto. That's why I'm here as well. Thank you. Replying to Richie, saying that he's learning a lot. God bless. Ditto as well. You too. Richie is saying, yeah, almost every time I stop by, it's inspirational, it's dedication and commitment. Thank you so much for seeing that. Thank you so much for watching every time that you do see me, because I do notice people who pop in and pop out, not really interested in the topic, but of course, it's not for everybody, and we understand that. But for those who do see the value, we aim, or at least I do, to make sure that it will help you in whatever way possible. Jessica says, see things as opportunities and not problems. Richie says, I like that. Cool. Restream is saying, congratulations, we received 100 messages today with the Restream chat. So we got over 100 messages. Thank you to each and every single one of you for the interaction. If you're wondering what this is talking about, basically the platform that I'm using right now is a multi-streaming platform called Restream, which you can learn more about at simonleon.com/Restream. Again, that's simonleon.com/Restream. Is because of Restream that I'm able to simultaneously broadcast on multiple pages and profiles and groups on Facebook, as well as YouTube channel, as well as Twitter, as well as Periscope, as well as where else? Twitch. And coming soon, some additional platforms as well. Okay, so if you want to check it out for yourself, because you also want to get into live streaming, definitely go to simonleon.com/Restream. You can get started for absolutely free with zero obligation whatsoever to upgrade. So you can use it for free for life, at least at the time of this replay, recording, or this live stream. You can use it for free for life. They could change that at any time though. So I don't know. I have no control over that. All right. So if you want to learn more about that, definitely go to Restream. All right. And that's why Restream is sending me the 100 messages today. Congratulations message. Jessica is also talking to Richie. Yes, Simon is my mentor and accountability partner from Groove. If you don't know what Groove is, I invite you to be a part of our Groove community. Join for life, for free. by going to myinternetbuilder.com. Again, that's myinternetbuilder.com, and you will know exactly what Jessica is talking about when she's talking about mentor and accountability partner from Groove. Richie is saying too many people like to blame, etc. I concur. I understand. Believe me, I understand. There are a lot of people who also want to blame me just because they didn't take action after attending my courses, when other people who attended the exact same course took action, got results inside the class, and some people 1 year later are wanting to complain and saying that it doesn't work just because they obviously didn't take action. And if it took them 1 year or more to complain, then obviously they just didn't bother. Alex from Facebook is saying hi. Hello to you, Mr. Alex. Thank you for saying hi. Hello to you back. Richie is saying, I just signed up for GIS Mastermind earlier. His philosophy makes sense to me. Not sure what GIS is, or maybe his mastermind, as in my mastermind. I don't know. But congratulations, whichever mastermind you joined, Richie. Hopefully it will work out for you. Jessica is saying, hi, Alex. Great that you're joining us. Absolutely. Indeed. Jessica is also replying to Richie saying, awesome. I am a member too. Are you with Groove? And Richie is saying, yes. So cool. Fellow Groovesters, definitely great to have fellow members of the Groove community joining us here in our humble little group. Jessica is saying, be a good leader and a positive role model, an example in the world. Yep. Very great quotes to live by. Richie is saying, be the change that you want to be. Yes, be the change that you want to be. Do something today that your future self will thank you for, okay? And obviously not something that you will look back on and say, oh my gosh, I can't believe I said that, and I can't believe all those people listened to me and repeated what I said. That is the worst possible feeling. And Richie says, exactly. Jessica, it's your responsibility, not the government. There's never been a better time to create your own online business and take responsibility for your own life. This is obviously Jessica is doing a great job taking notes. Thank you for putting down all the highlights of the things that I have been saying, because I always forget what I say. Jessica is also saying, Simon's had his best time yet in this pandemic on all levels. Definitely. And it's a choice, right? It's not because of the pandemic that I had my best year yet. It's in spite of the pandemic. It's in spite of everything that's happened. And I took advantage of my network. I took advantage of my skills. I took advantage of my opportunities. I took advantage of people that I knew. I took advantage of all the opportunities that were around me, right? And I made something good out of it, and at the same time, still be in the position to help other people as well. In fact, we're doing so well, we're able to help other people for free, right? And do all these live streams. Take the time out of my day to do all these live streams where literally, authentically, genuinely asking for nothing in return. So I will never understand, right, why all the people will still come in and hate and troll and spread negativity when in fact they don't have to be here if they don't want to. They don't have to absorb my free content if they don't want to. They don't have to initiate with me when I volunteer my time to help you. If it's not for you, just go away. It's fine, right? Just disappear. Don't even have to say a word. It's fine. I don't understand why it's necessary to follow the same mentality as some of the other people that we've been talking about and feel that it's necessary to spread hate, necessary to be insulting, necessary to say something negative, right? So, of course, I believe that this is something that we as a society still have a lot to learn, a lot to grow. So yes, in spite of the pandemic, it's because of my experience, because I knew how to take a step back and knew how to act, say the right things, behave appropriately. We've been able to create our best time yet. Richie is saying, hey, Jessica, what is your who or why, if you don't mind me asking? Hey, why don't the two of you connect? I think that you're hitting it off, and we can basically have a lot of these private conversations as well. have them inside of our private mastermind group, because that is the place where a lot of us will continue to learn, especially with our fellow mastermind partners. I believe that this will be all very valuable as well. So why don't we save some of these cool conversations later? Richie is also saying, I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm just not quite sure which way to go. Oh, that's perfect, because for a lot of us in the mastermind group, that's what we want you to do, right? We want you to be able to figure things out. We want to help you every single step of the way. So make sure that you are active in there, because once you figure that out, once you find out what that means to you, right, then you can be the leader for yourself as well. Richie is saying, haha, love it. I don't remember what it was that I said or what was said that you love, but I'm glad that you love something because we all can use some more love in this world. Jessica is saying, we'll share privately. I haven't launched yet and preparing to. Thank you very much for doing that. Jessica is saying, strive to make a world a better place, one person at a time. Great quotes to extract. Richie is saying, okay, when you do, wish you well. Thank you very much. Jessica is saying, we can discuss privately, happy to connect and help. And Richie says, okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you. I have my last week of work this week and I'll be pivoting to this full-time. Wow, congratulations for your last week of work. That's amazing. Congratulations for doing that. A huge change, definitely not without risks, but you're at the right place. You're at the right here at the right time. You're in the right community. If you're part of both our community, our mastermind, as well as with Groove, you cannot go wrong. Jessica is saying congratulations. I'm presuming for the 100 messages. Richie is saying awesome. Thank you very much. Awesome, add me. Richie saying, I think I found you. Send me an addy. Blah blah blah. Yes. Okay, very cool. Jessica is saying that's what I'm doing. So Gary Ambrose, what's up, dude? Yes, live again, keeping it consistent. Been on live pretty consistently. Actually, for the first time, the first 10 days, I was live for 10 days in a row, right after you showed up for the first one. And then for a few ones after that, I took like a 2 or 3 day break, and I've been on pretty much every day, or at least, every other day at the very least again. So yep, still keeping it consistent. And funny enough, consistency was one of the criteria that we talked about earlier when it came to leadership. For those of you who don't know who Gary Ambrose is, one of the real deal gurus and veterans that I was talking about earlier. My very first seminar that I went to, the one that I met all the gurus, including Mike Filsaime himself, Mr. Gary was a part of that seminar. He was on the stage, he was speaking. I learned a lot from him. I get inspired by him as well. So of course, if you want to learn from yet another real deal guru, look up Gary Ambrose. And of course, if you're around still, Gary, let us know how we can learn more about you, your website, how we can get on your list, and all those cool things. Simply because Gary is one of the best that you can follow, one of the OGs in internet marketing. And I know we talked about Gary catching up and messaging when it's nighttime or whatever else, your time. We still need to do that. I know, I understand. I am slacking, but we will. Okay, I'll send you a message later on. Jessica is saying, replying to Gary, hey, Gary, great to see you again on the live stream. I haven't seen you since I was first one. Yep, that was about 2 weeks ago. Richie is saying, I haven't seen anything. I have 2 accounts, one used for games long time ago. Richie says, let's get it. Okay, very cool. So continued interaction for many of our friends here. I really believe that, Simon, I'm in the right spot. You absolutely are. And we will make sure that we will help you however we can. Jessica is saying, best wishes with your final work week and pivoting. Pivot. The one with the moving the sofa on Friends with Ross on the stairs. If you know what I'm talking about, that was one of my favorite Friends episodes. Pivot. Richie is saying, thank you. I'm nervous. I've been working since I was like 10. Well, of course, there's a best, as they say, there's better late than never. There's always the No best time for anything, right? Jessica is saying, I will look up Gary Ambrose. Yes, you definitely should. Richie is saying, haha. Okay, very cool. So with all of that, I don't know how long we've been on here. I always lose track of time because this one doesn't let us know how long we have been around, but hopefully it's something that they will upgrade on. And before we leave, one last message from Mr. Gary. Nothing to find me on right now, but I look for something early 2021. Just got the domain I wanted. Product creation emotion. Don't call it a comeback, although it kind of is. Yeah, maybe it kind of is, maybe it kind of isn't, or maybe you just took a break or whatever else. You need to do what you need to do, but we can call this the Great Gary Ambrose return. Hopefully, in due time, let us know, because as you can see, we have a lot of interest of fellow live stream viewers who are interested in connecting with you, learning more about you, getting on your list, and call it what you will, a comeback or not, a return or whatever else. We want to be a part of whatever it is that you are doing, and definitely count me in if you need any type of support whatsoever. This is what our community is all about. So one of these days, hopefully at a time that works great for you, Mr. Gary Ambrose, we want to get you onto one of these live streams and have a chat, because it has been a long time since we have done that, even privately. But I'm sure many people also want to learn more from you as well. And we very much wait in anticipation this new product that you have to share with us. So with that, I want to thank you for yet another wonderful session. That is all the time that I have for today. But if you have any additional comments, whether you're watching us live or in the replay, let us know what questions you may have, what you want to see in future live sessions, or maybe, just maybe, you want to be a live guest with me and share some additional value with all of our friends here. We are on at different times all the time, so make sure that you are subscribed on my YouTube, or you are liking my page, following on my Facebook as well, with that bell notification turned on, so that you will be the first to know whenever we do go live. And with that, it is 2:48 p.m. Monday afternoon for me. The day is starting for many of you who are in the US and in other places all around the world. So wherever you might be, have a good day, have a good night, have a good evening, have a good afternoon, whatever that might be. And I will catch you on the next one. Ciao. See you. Bye.